For 2025, Lexus gives its big LX SUV a hybrid system, and I'm here to tell you all about it in detail, but efficiently. I'm not going to waste your time. You know, like a hybrid is supposed to be efficient. Lexus loyalists surveying their vast acreage holdings would have a tough go of it in an LS sedan. Sometimes what's needed is an SUV, though oftentimes it's like cutting bread with a chainsaw. The LX is a premium tool for one-percenters roaming the ranch or hauling their Whole Foods shopping. Basically, it's Toyota's Land Cruiser 300 series in an Issey Miyake suit. It's now available as a hybrid. LX 700H gets a gas-electric powertrain different from anything else on the road or the trail.
We have great SUVs in our lineup, RX, TX, you know them all, but to be the pinnacle is what we would expect with this vehicle. So we put the best performance powertrain in the vehicle.
I'm at a Lexus-sponsored event in Yountville, California, driving 2 of the 5 LX variants. The all-new Overtrail, designed to do stuff like this, and F-Sport. Fun fact, LX is the only model to get both trims. As you might expect, the LX is not an inexpensive vehicle. The base 600 version, which is gas only, starts at $106,850. At least that includes destination. Moving up to the 700H hybrid, which is the focus of this video, adds around $8,500. And in case you're wondering, you can option this up to $141,000. LX is based on the GAF architecture, same as Toyota Sequoia, which uses the iForce Max hybrid powertrain that pairs a 3.4-liter twin-turbocharged V6 with an electric motor embedded in the transmission. Same goes for the 700H, but there's a difference.
So this is the first Toyota or Lexus hybrid system that features a hybrid system, but also an alternator and a starter. So they put those pieces in place if, in case there were some failure of the hybrid system and you're on a trail, you would be able to get off the trail essentially as an LX 600. So it would revert back to a completely gas-only operation.
The Lexus adds power too. Its V6 is tuned to run on premium fuel.
This hybrid system provides us with 457 horsepower and 583 foot-pounds of torque.
This hybrid's operation is quite different than, say, RAV4's. A drive shaft runs to the rear axle. Also, the gas engine tends to fire up at the mere touch of the throttle. Both the gas-only LX 600 and 700H use a 10-speed transmission with manual control.
This is the first time that a shift-by-wire shifter has been put into a body-on-frame vehicle for us, and that allows us to not only have a more modern look and design on the inside, but it also allows us to have some function. So this is the first LX to offer advanced park. In the center console, you'll see a center differential locking button, and then by your right knee as a driver, you're going to see 2 more buttons that are for your rear and front differential lock. So this is the first time we've had a triple locked LX since the late 90s.
700H can be had with 2 or 3 rows of seating. A new third cross member helps to stiffen the structure and accommodate the nickel metal hydride battery pack. The spare tire remains. Lexus paid a lot for this animation, so I'm using it.
There's a completely waterproof case for the battery, and it also has a brand new water detection sensor. They wanted this vehicle to have as good or better water fording capability than a gas-powered version. If water were to get into the waterproof case, it has the sensor, and that doesn't mean that water's getting into the battery. That simply means that water's getting into the case. So it's once again, another fail-safe to kind of alert the driver that, there's water in the case and that there's a way to, kind of let that drain.
Like nearly all modern vehicles, there are drive modes. LX has a bunch, including a setting that can be personalized. The adaptive variable suspension uses hydraulics. There are steel springs, not air chambers. From normal height, it can drop an inch or raise by 4. Overtrail adds extra underbody protection, plus third-party Land Cruiser 300 pieces can be bolted right in. The LX is supremely capable off-road. Let's assume most miles will be on pavement. I snag an F-Sport for that. FYI, if the circuit red semi-aniline leather is too much for your retinas, there's a choice of black. This is no featherweight. On average, LX weighs some 6,200 pounds. But it also has 583 pound-feet of torque available right away. I figure this will hustle up to 60 miles an hour in 6 seconds. This big boy can move. 700H only shaves a half second from the 600's benchmark timing, but it adds refinement, perfect for the Lexus mission. The Toyota Group, of course, known for its terrific hybrid systems. The one in the LX is terrific. You hardly notice the handoff from gas to electric. Super smooth. Butter has nothing on this. LX is smaller than Infiniti QX80 or the standard Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator by 11 inches in length and 3 in width on average, so the Lexus might break a tie if garageability is an issue. It's easy to survey your domain in the LX. You sit up high, lots of glass, visibility is quite good. Speaking of the glass, the A-pillar is somewhat upright. It's actually easy to touch the windshield. That's something you don't find in many cars these days. From the captain's chair, it feels wide. The center console is as broad as an owner's investment portfolio. Comfortable? Of course it is. It's a Lexus. It's what the brand is all about. Quiet? Yeah. Over 70 miles an hour. There is a little bit of faint, soft wind noise coming off the A-pillar, but, you know, this is a bolt-right SUV. You'd expect something like that. I'm in sport mode with the chassis down to its lowest ground clearance of 7.9 inches. Even with 22-inch wheels and lower profile tires, the 700H F Sport's mission is to coddle with some control. Tossed hard into a tight turn, there's moderate body roll and understeer. As an SUV with a higher center of gravity, it's best as a cruiser. Let's not forget that this is a body-on-frame truck, right? That said, it goes down the road pretty nicely. It tracks straight and true, no micro corrections, really well done. Now, this is the F Sport, and it does have a little bit more athleticism, but not overly so. They all go down the road quite nicely. If anything, this feels and kind of sounds like there's a muted V8 under the hood. Everything, including transmission shifts, feels like Teflon-coated Crisco. The gas-only LX 600 is EPA rated at an average of 19 miles per gallon. The 700H is more efficient by 1 mpg. Yeah, the average is 20 miles per gallon on specified premium fuel. This is tuned for power, not efficiency. This being the brand's flagship, it's stuffed with ADAS active electronic safety tech named Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0. Some of the features:
front cross-traffic alert standard, advanced park with remote park that you may have experienced before in some of our other vehicles is standard on the 700H. Traffic jam assist is now standard, digital key is standard. So being the flagship, there's certain things that we just need to standardize.
Moving to the interior of the Overtrail. It's very Lexus-y with smoked chrome accents. There's a ranch full of leather and a grove of trees in here. It's loftier looking than Sister GX. And speaking of elevated, these help for getting in. Some vehicles put all the controls on a touchscreen. Not LX, it's a button lover's paradise. One ergonomic gripe: operating Windows while driving requires some contortion. Loads of cameras act as an off-road digital spotter. In total, I drove some 150 miles and had no problems with the heated, vented, and massaging seats. Storage cubbies aren't overly large, but there are a bunch of them. This console space is refrigerated, it's standard. Carnivores, Lexus warns not to store meat products in it. Seriously. The Lexus user interface is of the connected kind. In other words, it reaches out to the cloud. It's not so much graphics-based as it is natural voice command dependent. Hey Lexus, are there any wineries around?
I found 15 results. The first is Castello di Amorosa at St. Helena Highway. Would you like to go to that one?
No, and only 15? This is the Napa Valley after all. Of course, once the trial period is over, it requires a data plan for full functionality. Shouldn't bother Lexus owners. In addition to hard controls, a second screen handles some tasks, so the main one can be left where it is. The Qi charger works well, not always the case. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless. With the right files, the Mark Levinson reference quality surround sound system is sonic bliss. It's as big as the sunroof is small. Would like panoramic glass at this price. The 4-passenger Ultimate Luxury trim, made more for livery duty, gets 2 seats here. Otherwise, 3 adults will ride on this bench without complaint. Dual zone climate? Check. Outboard positions get heat and venting. How civilized. There's places to stash trail mix and Cliff Bars too. Devices get power. Eyes will be shaded. There's quite a spine that robs footroom. Other than that, space is good. Remember that 700H is available with 2 or 3 rows of seating. The mid-row does not slide fore and aft, and it's quite a hike up and into the way back.
Friends won't let adult friends spend much time back here. I'm 5'9". I have just enough headroom, but it's really about the legs. My knees are as high as they can go. That's because the cushion is down low, close to the floor. And if I folded the seats, I would have practically no footroom. There are some accoutrements back here, power ports and cup holders, but really, this space is for small kids. Shouldn't be any surprise.
Time to toss over trail around on dirt. The winding road leading to the course that Lexus built could be done by an NX, but slowly and carefully.
My usual disclaimer, GoPros and cameras never really show how rugged these courses are. This one's pretty gnarly.
The demonstration course is short, but shows what this Luxo barge can do.
All right, we've got some staggered logs here. This is nasty. Yeah.
Max ground clearance is dialed in. That's around 13 inches.
Honestly, I would not take my own vehicle on terrain like this, especially one coming up on $120,000.
Off-road driving is not my specialty, but I can tell when things are going right.
Wow, okay.
Or wrong.
Okay, I'm looking at nothing but sky. And slight right turn. And now I'm looking at nothing but dirt.
I suspect an F-Sport could navigate this course, though I'd be careful with the wheels.
Impressive.
Overtrails are beefed up, and the treads are better suited to mud, dirt, and rocks.
Chances are, a Toyota Corolla would have its muffler scraped off by now.
This is a purpose-built course, so there's no drama. But don't forget, this is a luxury vehicle.
Throttle modulation, really nice on this.
Not sure I'd take an Escalade or Navigator on this.
When you stop and think about it, this is a very capable Land Cruiser, right? It should be able to do this.
Chances are the first or second owners will not be pointing their LX onto stuff like this, but eventually someone will have an older vehicle that's extremely capable and luxurious. Waterfording? A stock 700H is good for at least 27 inches.
So you know, I've got the center differential locked and I'm in 4-low.
There is crawl control and hill descent control. I'm not using them.
If you're the kind of person that buys one of these and takes it on a course like this, more power to you. I mean, at $120-some thousand, I could not afford to do it. I'm just an overworked, underpaid automotive writer.
Put simply, LX 700H won't leave you stranded on the trail or at the office.
I've said it before, I'm gonna say it one more time. 3-row SUVs do not have the cargo space that a minivan provides. I'm only trying to help. For example, a Toyota Sienna, which is available with all-wheel drive, will take on 5, maybe 6 carry-on suitcases behind the 3rd row. Here, you can see my camera bag really doesn't fit.
It's 7.2 cubic feet, Miata-sized. The battery and spare take up space. 700H's 2400 watt power outlet is much more powerful than the 600's. Run an air fryer while glamping. The back row gets power both up and down. They're kind of slow. The result is enough room for a decent-sized Costco run, 31 cubic feet to the 600's 44. Row 2 tumbles forward, opening up 62.5 cubic feet of space in max cargo mode. In that regard, many buyers might be better off with the roomier 3-row TX 550h Plus just across the Lexus showroom floor, which is a plug-in hybrid, easily 30 grand less too. Of course, TX doesn't have the life-saving off-road prowess the LX 700h offers, should you need that.
This is not going to sell like the RX. Hey, it's so much more expensive. But for those who have the means, the LX 700h is quite a machine. It's comfortable on-road, you can really eat up the miles on the pavement, and then it's extremely capable off-road. Its roots are from Land Cruiser, right? Is it efficient? No, it's not, but anybody who can afford this can pay for the gas.
Toyota's Land Cruiser 300 series doesn't come to the US unless it's wearing the designer Lexus LX label. Wealthy off-road enthusiasts that want it will enjoy the extra torque of the 700h's hybrid system. Just don't expect to tackle the Rubicon Trail and get 40 miles per gallon. I covered many 700h features, but it's a very deep vehicle, and I really try to keep these videos moving along with the information that people want without a lot of fluff. But I'll leave you with one more tidbit.
We have 2 buttons to close the hatch. One of them doesn't have a lock button and one of them does. The one with the lock is called lock and walk. So a lot of times if you press that button, it'll just beep at you and it won't close the trunk, and people say, oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? That feature is intended for you press it before you grab the things that you're going to grab. So say you know you have a bunch of groceries or a bag that requires, 2 hands to pick up. You press that, it's going to beep once, you grab your item, and then as soon as you get about 3 meters away, so like 6 to 9 feet, it'll close on its own and lock the vehicle.
Real quick before I go, it's important for you to understand that Lexus brought me to the Napa Valley, put me up in a nice hotel, and fed me great food, but I would be happy to stay at the Comfort Inn and eat In-N-Out Burger just so long as I can give you good information, okay? That's what I'm all about. Hope you got something out of this look at the Lexus LX 700h. Hey, if you've got a question, leave it in the comments. Either I or one of the members of the Driven Nation will get to you. This is a good community. I suggest that you subscribe to the channel and click notifications. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Blue Sky now. Thanks for watching. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.